G'day YouTubers, Collar201, and today we are not playing anything. Today's going to be a different sort of video. We're not playing any games. This is something I've wanted to do for a little while now, is do this ADHD and ADD test. The reason why I want to do this is because back in primary school, I actually had a really... I had a really bad accident on a bike and I had to get airlifted from Shepparton to Melbourne. This injury to my head actually affected my short-term memory loss. Affected my short-term memory. And I've sort of noticed over the years as I've been getting older, like this has sort of been in the back of my head, sort of like growing. It's like maybe I might have it, maybe I don't have it. Just found like links to where like I may have ADHD or not. I don't think I do. And if I do, I think I'm like the lowest part of the spectrum or whatever. I don't know. I haven't been diagnosed by anyone. I haven't seen anyone get diagnosed. But in saying that as well, please don't, if you want to do this yourself, I will link this in the description below as well. Don't take this stuff as gospel. Please see a professional. I'm just a guy on the internet. You don't want to self-diagnose yourself and then put yourself into a spot that you're not supposed to be in. It just confuses a hell of a lot of stuff. So that's a bit of the backstory why I want to do this. So let's just start this ADHD ADD test. There we go. I have a poor attention to detail. I often make small mistakes. I skim read. I rush things. I mess up dates, get details wrong, or make simple errors because I'm not paying attention. Yeah. Yeah, I don't necessarily skim read, but I do like, I do miss little things whenever I'm doing an essay or something for school. I'll be typing it up and then I'll only skim read it, and then when I finish everything and finish the draft and everything and then want to hand it in, I'll read it again and realize how there's so many mistakes in this, that there are way too many mistakes, like spelling mistakes, punctuation and stuff like that. I'm always also very forgetful. Like literally the other day, I actually had to get a little lump off of my head and I booked it a couple weeks in advance, or we made the appointment and stuff like that, and I forgot the date and then I had class the same day. So after class, thought to myself, hey, I better actually ring up and see when I'm supposed to actually be in to get this little bump removed from my head. So I ring them up and they I ask, hey, I give them my details, I give them who I'm supposed to see and I give them all the details that I need to, and then they just say, oh yeah, you got to be here in like 15 to 30 minutes. I'm like, so I book it to go and see them, and then yeah. So that's yes, a resounding yes. Well, not a resounding yes, but yes nonetheless. That rhymes. Oh. I struggle to finish long, complex tasks, even leisure activities. I may do something else, or I end up doing several things at once. Yeah, I do this a lot. I'm going to probably be referring back to uni a lot because it says complex tasks, and I feel like a lot of these tasks are going to be related around like that sort of thing. So when I'm doing like uni work, I do find myself like I get writer's block a lot, and I just can't seem to think of what to write. Before as well, when I used to have like long hair on top as well, and I had my hair tie on my hand, I found myself like fidgeting with it a lot, and I find myself like grab my phone out and just like spin it around, or even just turn it on and off to check messages or see if there's any notifications whatsoever, and then I'll just quickly put it back in my pocket, and then I think to myself, why did I do that? I didn't need to know anything there. But yeah, complex tasks, so like uni work and stuff like that. Even just like reading a book. The only book I've ever like solely tried to read, I never finished it by the way, spoiler, was Ranger's Apprentice, I'm pretty sure. That was like back in primary school again. Did want to try, but I just couldn't. And it was just like, I couldn't finish it. I would start reading and then find myself wanting to do other things, like something else. And I did like this. I found the story good at the time, but at the same time, I just felt like there was better things for me to do, even though I had nothing else really to do. Long, complex tasks, I ain't the best at. I often tune out during long conversations. I may appear to be listening, but my mind wanders and I miss what's being said. Sometimes I even lose track of what I'm saying or go off on a tangent. I don't go off on tangents too much, but I do. My mind does wander. Like, I'll be having the conversation with the person and then I'll start be thinking about something and then I'll just snap back. While I'm thinking about something else, I'll be talking to them, listening to them, like having a proper conversation, and then it's like, hey, is water wet? And then like that just opens up a can of worms. Why do I do this? I think about so many different things as well. When it does happen, it's like I need to know what they're talking about so I can do what I need to do. But then again, I sort of ask questions as well, and then I do sort of feel bad because like they were fucking talking about it. So if anyone from work or anyone that I know, I'm sorry. I don't talk off on tangents, but sometimes I do. It depends on the topic, what we're talking about. Generally, I don't, but I do. Yeah. So it's I prefer to jump right in rather than read the instructions, guides, or receipts. I struggle to stick to routine, schedule, or plans. I know what to do. I just don't seem to do it. I don't. Sometimes, but I don't think it's enough. Like, I generally do try to read instructions if I don't know too much about it already, or if I haven't had that product before. And I generally do try to keep to plans a lot. But again, it's just like sometimes I just like tasks and stuff like that. I try. Is it enough to say that I struggle to stick to plans? Like, I generally do get like last minute get it done, and then it's like there, but it's not. Yeah, like, you get what I mean? Like, if you set a time, let's say 12 o'clock, and then I have to get something done by 2 o'clock, 1.5 hours, I'll be trying to do the task, but I'll also be doing other little things as well, as I said before, fidgeting and stuff like that. But then the last half an hour, I'll be cramming. And it's just, oh God. Is it a yes or a no, though? I'm going to say, based on the logic that I just did, that it's going to be a no, because it's still sticking to the time schedule, but it's not necessarily doing what you're scheduled to do. I guess. I have trouble organizing my work or home life. My to-do list feels overwhelming. I often procrastinate, unsure where to start and what I need. Yes. This has become a little bit better for me because I've just gone from casual to part-time. So it's a lot easier for me to schedule my work days as well, because usually work would call up saying, hey, this person's sick, can you come in? Or hey, we've double booked someone, or someone can't make it in. And I'll just say yes and go in. Because that time's been taken away from me, I do find it sometimes overwhelming to try and get videos done or stream and get my uni work done and stuff like that. And even uni work as well, it's like sometimes the workload for that week or that assignment is just so much that I feel like I don't have time for anything else unless it's work and I get money from it. But and then the procrastinating thing is just, that's more to do with it. Like, it's not organizing. But then you know how I said before I don't go on tangents? Even with like making videos and stuff like that, trying to figure out what videos to make or what games to play or how to make content and stuff like that. I'm not a big person by any sense. Like, I've literally only got like 200 subs and that's it. I'm not big by any of the stretch. So I'm trying to find my feeding at the moment and trying to find my way in a way. And that's where I relate most to with where to start. What should I say with this one? I have trouble organizing. I wouldn't say I have trouble. I do feel overwhelmed, though. I think that's the main point with this question, is I do feel overwhelmed with work and uni and stuff. I always feel like I got something else I need to do. There's something I need to do. So yeah, I guess we'll go with that. We'll try to not go on too much of a tangent with this question. I struggle with jobs that demand focus for a long time. I dislike routine, repetitive tasks. I hate paperwork, but when I'm interested, I'm super focused. Yeah. That I can agree with that one. As I said before, with like uni work, last uni of classes I did was on marketing, and it was so hard for me to try and stay focused for a long time. Another unit I did, and it was like exercise physiology, and I was hyper focused in on that. It was so good. Instead of like marketing, it was more on like what I'm interested in like the human body and how everything works together to produce movement and how all the systems work together to exercise. I just found it so interesting. Like, it was so good for me to learn, and because I was interested in it, it's something that I want to learn. My course, it also has a marketing component, because if I wanted to create my own business around fitness, then it then gives me the tools to then do that. But that doesn't mean I don't get bored as fuck. I just found I was so hard focused. I wanted to try and get like the highest marks and stuff like that in that class. I felt so hyper focused. It was really, really good. I loved it. It's not that I didn't want to get the highest marks in marketing. It's just like I got tired of that class a lot quicker than I did with exercise stuff. So yes. I'm gonna click a yes for that one. I often misplace my phone, keys, or TV remote. I just had it a minute ago. I lose important paperwork. My home or workplace is cluttered, piles everywhere, so I can't find things, otherwise I'll forget them. Sounds familiar? Ah, yeah. I'm always fucking forgetting shit. Like, even it's not like forgetting phones or keys. Like, I'll literally walk into the room and forget what I'm doing. Anyone, like, a workmate of mine could definitely vouch for me about that. Not that I want him to. But he asked me to, like, while he's counting a till to make sure the money's correct, he'll ask me to serve on another one. And it's like, he'll finish doing that, I'll finish up the, like, serving the people and stuff like that. And then I'll just, like, take a couple of steps to outside of the, like, cash register and stuff. And then I'll be like, hey, what was I doing? Like, I won't say that to anyone, but it's like, I'll be like, huh? Like, I'll look a little like, what the fuck was I doing? It might be embarrassing for some people, but it's happened to me so many times. I'm just like, I've got like ways for me to remember. It's like, I'll try to remember like what I was doing before. Like, I'll trace back my steps and stuff like that. But, it is a little bit embarrassing, not gonna lie. But yeah, losing phones and keys, I'm always like, I'll misplace my phone and I'll think I misplaced my phone and I'm just like, it's just playing music on my table. And I'll think, where do I put my phone? I'll check my pockets, look around the room, and then I see it playing music on my, on the table. I'm like, I'm a dumbass. I'm a dum-dum. But yeah, there's also other things as well, like keys as well, like work keys and my bike keys and stuff like that. Yeah, this one's definitely a resounding yes. I've still got 11 more questions to go. I can do math. I'm always distracted by conversations, noises, or activities around me. I'm often lost in thought, one idea after another, imagining ideas or situations. I'm smart. I'm smart, but a bit of absent-minded. I'm a daydreamer. I wouldn't say I'm a daydreamer, but I think this relates to me. It's like, I'm more of like an overthinker in a way, like lost in thought. Sometimes an idea goes from one idea to the next, but not too often. I'll think about one thing and think about that for a little bit, and then realize I'm not supposed to be thinking like what I'm supposed to be doing or what I'm thinking about and like what I should be thinking about. And even then, sometimes like I'll notice what I'm doing. My brain will just be like, nah, this is a pressing question. Is water wet? We need to figure this out. And then like the customer's just, I just want a paper bag. Jesus Christ, just having a war in my head. But yeah, I would say, yeah, this is definitely a yes for me. I wouldn't say I'm a daydreamer though, but technically that is daydream. Would that be daydreaming? This is how it triggers. Like, I'll think, oh yeah, is this daydreaming? And then I'll go into what is daydreaming? And then some other random thought will just come in and just take my brain for a joyride and just be like, you want to be productive? Haha. I often lose track of what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm bad with dates, names, appointments, or forget to bring something I need. I've bought things and then realized I already owned one. Oh, okay, as in like I've already bought something from a shop instead of like bought something that I needed. Okay, yep. But yeah, I definitely forgotten many times in my childhood things that I've needed that I was supposed to bring. Like, I was going to a football game that was about an hour drive away and I had to play footy at like 9 o'clock, 8 8 o'clock in the morning or something. It was like a really early in the morning on a Saturday, and I was going to a football game. I get there, go into the club rooms, start to get ready and everything. I got all my jersey, my footy shorts and stuff like that. I put my socks on, go to grab my footy boot, and it wasn't there. It was gone. I thought I put it in. I didn't. So I tell Dad, and God bless my parents. They contacted her to bring the footy boots so they can meet halfway, and then Dad would bring them to me. And then luckily enough, I warmed up in the runners that I had at the time. And then Dad got the footy boots to me just in time, just before the game, and was like, oh my fucking God. That was a time. Again, I love my parents to death. Now, moral of the story is don't forget your shit. Double check, triple check, quadruple check. Yeah, so I often lose stuff. Forget to bring stuff. I'm bad with that. Yeah, dates, names. I'm terrible with names. And if you know me and talk to me regularly, you may notice that is a thing. That is definitely a yes. I fidget, tap my foot, doodle, or shift my seat to help focus. Yeah. I mainly fidget with my hands, but now reading that shift my chair, I actually used to shift my chair a lot in high school. It was mainly between year 7 and year 10 where I was shifting my chair. But fuck, I didn't even realize that because I just thought I was trying to get it like comfortable. I was too big for the tables and chairs at my school. I just thought, hey, I was just like moving it just to get comfortable. But if that's a thing that might be a thing, then damn. I often feel restless during long meetings, classes, or church. Never been to church. Actually, no, that's a lie. I've been there once and only once. Church is a good thing, but not my kind of thing. It's like a dynamo inside me. Dynamo. It's a dynamo. What the a machine for converting mechanical energy into electrical energy, typically by means of rotating an extremely energetic person. Oh, okay. I'm not converting mechanical energy into electrical energy, but technically, because your nervous system runs on an electric pulse. When you feel something, so if my finger pushes down that, which then creates an electrical impulse that I'm feeling that there. I went off on a tangent. Yeah, so an extremely energetic person. So back to this. As I said before, sometimes I like fidget with my phone, just do that, or just like check notifications and stuff like that. Or even like if I have like a hair tie, I'll just fidget with that in my fingers. And then if I don't have any of those, I'll just probably get up and walk around so that I can get some headspace and actually think. Because if I keep like hyper focusing on something that I'm not getting any work done, it's a lot more harmful than it is for my productivity than it is me just like getting some breath of fresh air. Wait, yeah? Is that breath of fresh air? I had a stroke then. I don't know why I thought breath of fresh air was the wrong way to say it. A breath of fresh air so then I can get some headspace to think, then get on with the task that needs to be done. So yes. I pace when I'm on my phone. No, I don't do that. I wish I could pace during meetings. I tend to walk quickly. I'm going to say no for this one. I don't pace back and forth when I'm on the phone. When I'm doing like essays and stuff like that, yeah, I'll get up and walk around or talk to people and like get some headspace and stuff like that. If I'm in a meeting because other people are dependent on me to be there, then I will be there. Like if I'm by myself doing an essay that I need to do, then I will walk up, get some headspace and just like help myself work. You get what I mean? But sitting still and listening quietly is challenging. Again, with like one of the questions before, like sometimes I hyper focus, I'll listen in and stuff like that. It really depends on what it's about. Like, as I said before, it's like when I was doing exercise physiology, I wanted to know. So I found it pretty good to sit and listen and sit and do that stuff. Whereas marketing, I did sort of want to not be there. But again, I'm going to say no for the reason that I gave. My mind is always going. Falling asleep is difficult. I'm curious, always on to the next idea or interest. Seeking novelty. I've had a lot of difficult jobs and / all moved around more than most people. Not all these may resonate, but pick yes if any of them do. Yeah, falling asleep has been more of a recent thing, but I sort of, now that I think about it, I didn't notice it. Like in primary school, I definitely was able to get to sleep. High school, I started to have nights where I couldn't get to sleep and stuff like that. And now it's like, yeah. The difficult job, I don't relate with that one, but falling asleep is more of a recent thing, but it depends on how much I've done during the day, really. I think I should say yes, only because it's difficult to switch off and go to sleep. Because sometimes I do just like, I put all my phones down, I put everything down and close my eyes and try to go to sleep. And sometimes I just can't. I think that's what it means. Again, falling asleep, so it says not all of them are supposed to resonate, but falling asleep does, so we're going to go with yes. Difficulty enjoying leisure time activities quietly. I find it hard to unwind and relax. Small talk is boring. I love trying new things, then get bored and change them up to make them fun. I often rush things even if it isn't urgent. Been there, done that, next. I don't relate with this one too much. Like, yeah, I do love to try new things, but it's not to the extent where I get bored straight away. I love trying new things. It's really interesting to me. Like, I will milk it as much as I can, and then I'll try and change it up or try something new and stuff like that. I don't think that this one relates to me too much. I definitely can relax in a way, but again, my mind's still going. Like, I like to play games, maybe watch some anime and stuff like that to unwind. But again, my mind is still going. Again, I would say small talk is boring. I do prefer to try and pick at people's brains in a way, or just talk about subjects or any subject or whatever. So I don't necessarily think small talk is boring. And it's always good to have small talk just to see how the person's going and just like what's up with them, and then which leads on to bigger conversations. So I don't think I relate with this one too much. It often seems like I'm always on the go, driven by a motor until I crash. I get into one hobby then another. When something interests me, I'm totally immersed, wanting to know everything for a while. I'm more of a sprinter than a marathoner. I would say I'm like driven, but I wouldn't say I'm on from one hobby to the next. So again, I'll probably go no for this one. I do feel like I'm doing stuff until I crash, but that's just like work and it's not necessarily about a hobby. So I'm gonna say no, because I think this one's specifically more for hobbies and stuff like that. I always have lots to say. I tell great stories, but rarely learn anything about anyone else. If someone else tries to speak, I may get louder because I feel pressure to get it out. Not all of these may resonate with you, but if one does. I definitely have ideas and thoughts, but I'm not a person that's really outspoken. If someone does start talking while I'm speaking, I generally do just let them speak. I don't try to get louder. I think that's just obnoxious. So I listen to hear their point of view, and then if my point of view agrees with that, then I don't really need to say anything. And then if it doesn't, then I may just say, hey, this is what I think. This part of your opinion's valid, but my points are better. I do have stuff to say, but I don't think it's a lot, and I don't try to like I'm bigger and louder, listen to me in a way. I like to listen to people, again, pick their minds, try to get to the best solution that we can. I'm gonna go with no. I'm full of ideas, my mind is a race, and have to go to get out. I may seem rude, dominating, always adding my 2 cents, but I love to concentrate my ideas and have a lot of them. I often say yes to new things, then end up overwhelmed with commitments. Not all of this may resonate. I am full of ideas. I don't think I seem rude to try and dominate the conversation or anything like that. I'm gonna go with this one and say, hey, yeah, I'm full of ideas. Yeah, I would often say yes to try new things and stuff like that, but I don't feel overwhelmed with commitment. Should I say no? Because I am full of ideas. That's what resonates me. But the majority of it is being, yeah, outspoken and stuff like that. I want to go with no. I've explained myself. I hate long lineups in stores, drive-through windows, or at ATMs. Slow traffic is frustrating. I hate waiting. Yeah. I try not to show it as much, show externally how much I don't like being in a line and stuff like that. Like, so I try to be respectful and stuff like that. But yeah, the demon inside me wants to kill everyone. Okay, is this the last one? I tend to interrupt people. No. feel the need to add my 2 cents. I'll always question before the person is finished. No, I try to listen to people, because then, like, if someone's mid-sentence trying to talk to me and I just say, hey, why is this like this then? And then they're just about to explain that, I feel like a dick. So I do try to generally listen to people towards the end, and then we'll ask questions towards the end, then understand that more. I can be talkative and tend to dominate conversations because I'm enthused and interested. Like, even when I'm interested in whatever the conversation's about, or I'm passionate about a conversation, I generally try to listen. Like, I do feel like there's a lot of energy inside me if I'm interested or passionate about the thing. But again, I do try to wait till people finish so that I can get and just be respectful and just try to get my thing across. I don't interrupt. That's just rude. You score 12 out of 18. ADHD inactive type. Your score suggests inattention is a problem for you. While most people struggle with some of these symptoms, that doesn't mean they have ADHD. They could be stressed by a major life event or any number of medical issues. But your score suggests a full assessment by a specialist who understands ADHD might be in order. So I might have it. Oh God. About 4 to 5% of adults have ADHD. They struggle with focus, distraction, and attention. These challenges are ongoing, underlining their best intentions in many areas of life. Well, that explains a lot. But as this thing says, it suggests a full assessment by a specialist. So, guys, take this test if you think you may need this. But again, a specialist is the best way to go if you think you have ADHD or any of that stuff. You don't want to get misdiagnosed and then to be put on to medication that you don't need, which will then send you spiraling into other problems and stuff like that. This was definitely fun to do. If you want to, again, I'll put the quiz below. Again, specialist, make sure don't self-diagnose yourself, okay? But thank you guys again for watching. You guys are absolute legends. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.